So I know I've been mentioning it in several of my videos that I'm going to do a life update. Well, here I am, life update time. So life has been crazy. I've been struggling with staying motivated, and I just fell into my same old routine of get up, play around on TikTok, go to work. Get up, play around on TikTok, go to work. Since the last time I did a wet set tutorial, I did my Rocky Horror Picture Show Shadowcast. I'll link some of my photos and videos from that somewhere on the screen. That was in September. So October I was prepping for getting ready for a drag show, and COVID hit the fan. Like, it was mind-blowing. So then I was notified that I was a close contact for the first time, like the first or second week of October. And I kind of didn't feel very good, so I definitely was like, oh my God, I have COVID. This is crappy. Let me just relax while I'm home for this, however long until I get my results back. Well, I got my results back and I was negative. Part of my whole anxiety thing. And then the election came and went, and we all know how that went with everybody stressing out and trying to sort out what we thought was happening and all of the craziness. I got notified again 3 days after I went to go vote. So I went and did early voting because I wanted to make sure I got in and got it done and all that stuff. And I was notified that I was a close contact again, and I had to quarantine until I got my results. And again, I was negative. And this was the time that every single person I work with, aside from 3 of us, and I think there's 13 girls that work there, it was one right after the other. Somebody was getting it. And again, anxiety. I was getting anxious about that, but it came back that I was negative again. And during that time, I was doing all my prep work for the drag show. So I used my time wisely then. I was building costumes, stoning shoes, all of that kind of stuff. And then it came back, I was negative, so I went back to work. And at that point in time in the state of North Dakota, we had our first wave. Every day the numbers were doubling essentially. It was bad. We had a mask mandate in place at work. You couldn't get your hair done if you didn't have a mask stuff, and everybody still wanted to get their hair done, and there's nothing wrong with that. I'm glad that people still wanted to come out and make themselves look good, because it was nice to have a job. Then, because the numbers were getting so increasingly bad, the drag show was postponed, and I was fairly upset about it. I was pretty sad. I was so excited because it was the first time I was going to bring my drag persona back. Actually bring him back. I had taken a long extended break from it because I had so many other things going on in my life. Trying to start a business, and while starting a business, also starting up a nonprofit and organizing fundraising events, all in the midst of COVID, and trying to figure out ways to still make things doable and keeping them safe. Rocky was one of them, the people that came to the show, but it was still amazing. It was fantastic. So, it's been fairly hard for me lately. Then we get to the end of November, and that's when, my seasonal affective disorder decided it was time to kick in, because up until that point we hadn't really had bad weather. It was standard, a little bit chillier, the days were getting shorter, etc., etc. But then my seasonal affective disorder kicked in, and I was just kind of ugh. So I was just going through the motion.
Tears, I'll give it to someone.
Christmas, did the Christmas thing, got all the Christmas stuff out of the way, and I was not doing the things that I necessarily enjoyed doing. I fell into kind of like and it was just the way things were then. Like, you know how life gets sometimes. You just go through the motions. You do the bare minimum to get by. I wasn't taking care of myself. I was eating candy bars every night, like big king size ones and more than one, or like those bags of the bite size ones. So I started gaining weight, and then I started getting upset because I was gaining weight. Hey, I should learn how to crochet. So I did. Taught myself. I looked up a bunch of YouTube videos, etc., and learned how to crochet. So then, and during all of this, I'm obsessively watching Star Trek. Then my best friend, well, I guess she moved to Colorado the end of November, but she moved to Colorado. She had already moved across the state, and I only saw her sometimes, but I was sad. She was my pal that I always did the fun things with, but she's moving on with her life, and she's loving it, and I'm so happy for her. So I decided, since for the last 7 years, we have basically celebrated our birthdays together every single. I wanted to make sure that we continued that, so I drove to Greeley, Colorado to go spend a long weekend with her. And I was so excited because it was supposed to be nice when I was there. And I was so excited to get out of the cold and frozen tundra and get out and get some sunshine and all that stuff. I get there, blizzard, and it's the coldest it had been all winter there. So, yay. I did manage to get to go to some cool vintage shops while I was there and pick up a couple of cool vintage things. I also went on a tour of the Stanley Hotel, a haunted ghost tour. I will have a little scroll through of all the pictures up here. Got some fantastic pictures of the hotel the day I was leaving because it was dark when I went the first time, and I wanted to go back and get some beautiful pictures of the mountains and the hotel and all of that good stuff. And we went to Boulder Inc. in Boulder, Colorado, and I got a new tattoo. Well, I guess I've gotten 2 new tattoos since the last time I uploaded. I will show you both now. I got a beautiful little zombie avocado, and my friend that I'm talking about is the one that I got George with. She has Frank, I have George, and now we both have some avocados. She got a bunny avocado. I'm sure this will demonetize me maybe. So I did all that fun stuff for my birthday. Then we got the green light for the drag show to come back. Let me backtrack actually. So then while I went to Colorado, I made a plan with myself because I know that you can microdose with certain supplements in Colorado to help you with an addiction. So this friend of mine actually quit smoking almost 2 years ago now. So she only vaped. The apartment complex that she lived in had very strict rules about smoking. Like if you were going to smoke, there was a smoking place outside of, like in the middle of the parking lot of the apartment complex that you could go smoke at. Well, it was cold anyways, and I had a goal that I wanted to quit smoking, and you could vape in there. So right before I left for Colorado, I went and bought a super amazing vape. That's one of those like hybrid adjustable whatever, like it can do salt nic or regular e-juice. So that was my goal. I was going to quit smoking while I was in Colorado. I smoked the whole way there, and I smoked 5 cigarettes on the way back. And I had 2 packs of cigarettes when I left, and I didn't buy any while I was gone. And when I got back to North Dakota, I bought 1 pack of cigarettes, gave them to my husband, and said, hey, I need you to like dole these out to me until I can get to the point where I don't need them. And I still have a cigarette downstairs. Actually, no, I think I just threw it away the other day when I cleaned the kitchen. But it was in the one spot that I always told him, you know, put them in here. This is where I'll grab them from. And I have been officially smoke-free since the end of February. I still vape, but I'll link the video down below to a video I watched when I was starting the whole journey, just to kind of give me the vibes. So then I put on a few extra pounds again because I was still eating candy every night, but I feel better, so much better. Like, I can actually work out now without getting winded. I can ride my bike. It's going to be so much better when I decide to start going for runs again. Right now I'm trying to build some muscle before I like jump into crazy cardio, but that's neither here nor there. So all of that, and then we got the green light that the drag show was going to happen again, and it did. I will link a couple of clips of some of my performances in here somewhere, just little snippets, because copyright, and there is some inappropriate content in one of them, so I'll just give you guys these for now. And that was the day before Easter. And the week before Easter is when I started doing the Chloe Ting thing. So I did all that, and if you've been following along, you saw that I just posted my halfway mark the other day. Depending on when I post this video, I don't know when I'm gonna post this video. But anyways, there's that, and I've decided to get back to my roots with doing my hair tutorials and stuff again. Lots of ideas brewing in my head, because I know there's a lot of different things that people want to see when it comes to like wet set tutorials and curling iron tutorials and hot roller tutorials and different kind of curlers. And I'm going to make sure I put up at least one video every week. I'm going to try and film as often as possible. Hold me to that. If you don't see a video from me, you can find my social media. Find me on the gram and send me a message. I would say Twitter, but I never go on Twitter, but I have one. Or you could find me on the TikToks. I'm also Retro Fairy on there. I'll have all my links down in the description box. You guys are supporting me still and like want to see more content, get me out there, share me. I really, really, really have a goal of hitting 100 subscribers by the end of June. Like, that would be nice. So, thanks everybody. Bye.
Gonna be free, gonna love who I love. That's just how it's gonna be. Oh, I'm gonna be me, just gonna be me.
point is an elephant.